Well, this is it. We've been through a lot this month, but it's time to close the chapter on another Miraculous month. This is the big grand finale. And no, it's not like last time where I'm reviewing multiple episodes at once. So it may not feel as grand, and I apologize for that. But I'm still reviewing a pretty big episode. The second part of the Heroes Day season finale, titled Mayura. Or Mayura, however you pronounce it. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. So, the first episode that we reviewed yesterday was pretty much all set up for what was going to happen in this episode. And in this episode, we got non-stop action. That's exactly what it was. Non-stop action. A huge battle between the Miraculous Heroes and every single villain from the entire series up to this point. That means villains from both Season 1 and Season 2. Which is pretty major. Not to mention, we have all 5 of the Miraculous heroes united together. Which, yes, we saw a little bit of that in the first part, but in this part, we really get to see them work together. And it's probably one of the most thrilling battles in all of animation. Now, I'm not saying this is something like Leonardo versus Super Shredder, nothing like that, but it is still an incredible fight. Not to mention, it has stakes as well, as some of the heroes ended up becoming akumatized, turning Chloe back to Queen Wasp and turning Rena into Rena Rage, and seeing an evil Carapace for the first time and Shell-Shocked. Well, Shell-Shock, excuse me. I wish they kind of came up with a better name, but it's fine. So then, Ladybug and Cat Noir are pretty much entirely on their own against this big bunch of villains. But they do find a way to prevail, and it looks like that they finally defeated Hawkmoth. That is until Natalie decides to use the damaged Miraculous that put Gabriel's wife into the coma-like state she's in now, and starts having effects on her after she uses it to save Gabriel. And I do feel like having Volpina in this episode was kind of pointless. In this whole special, she was kind of pointless aside from that one vision in the beginning. But, I mean, outside of that, it was just, like, way too easy. And it's also cool to see all of Paris unite, including the non-akumatized people, as well as the people that get de-akumatized after the Scarlet Moths are, de-evilized. But yeah, this episode's just non-stop action. There is some plot stuff, but it happens only like at the end or in very few scenes that only last like a minute, if that. It is non-stop action, it is fast-paced, and it is extremely high stakes and very entertaining. Like, this is what you call a season finale. Now, the big question though, is it better than Origins from last season? And I have to say no, but it's very close. It's amazing to see all 5 of the Miraculous heroes together for once. Kind of like the first assembling in Power Rangers. It's something you never forget. And the fight itself is fantastic, with tons of twists and turns that you're never going to see coming. But I feel like in Origins, there was a lot more, it's a bit hard to explain, a lot more emotion, I'll put it that way, a lot more emotion. Not saying this one doesn't have any emotion, but I feel like what makes Origins such a phenomenal special is that both parts have very high emotion. Not only between Ladybug and Cat Noir meeting and fighting with each other for the first time, but also with Marinette developing her crush on Adrian in that classic iconic umbrella scene that I've already elaborated on in the past episode. So well, in a past review, so I won't go into detail here. That being said, though, this special is still great, and it's by far one of the best of the season. I can't call it perfect, though, but it is very close. And I love this special, like, plain simple. Like, this is what you call a season finale. This gives me huge vibes of something like, say, let me think of a good example. The first Battle for New York in the 2012 TMNT show. Like, it's got those high stakes. It's got that nonstop action and super fast pace. But it also keeps the plot moving forward without it feeling like it's dragging its feet. And I think that is where this special succeeds. Because it's a two-parter, and it is a bit long, and I wish Volpina was just left out entirely, but we got some pretty great imagery out of this episode, and not only that, again, this second part is just all action all the time. You don't slow down. It's like a nonstop thrill ride until the very end. And the very end is adorable, with Marinette finally kissing Adrian. Like, finally. It took them 2 seasons, but they finally got her to do it. And it is absolutely adorable. I mean, yeah, it's not a kiss on the lips, it's a kiss on the cheek, but it's still adorable, and it still shows that Marinette is learning to be a bit more open and let down her super shy fangirl guard, which I really appreciate. So, yeah, this is just a nonstop action special. I can't really go in depth with it because that's pretty much exactly what it is. But the other thing I will say is that it is cool to see the effects of a damaged Miraculous. Like, it seems like it is dang near fatal. Like, it's scary. And it has me worried about what will happen to Natalie. You know, will she end up in the same coma-like state as Gabriel's wife, or is it just going to be used on special dire occasions? I don't know. But it raises a lot of questions that keep you intrigued for what's going to happen in Season 3, but it's still satisfying enough that it doesn't feel like a waste of your time or just an outright advertisement for Season 3. This is a phenomenal episode, no other way for it. But I can't call it quite perfect because the first part does drag a bit. So, like I did with Queen's Battle, let's go ahead and jump in the final verdict. And just like I did with that special, I'm going to do both parts individually and then both parts together. So, for part 1 of this special, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Would be a 10 if it didn't have so much exposition. Like, I can understand it's the setup episode, so they had to do something, but I don't know. I feel like they could have still made a bit of a faster paced episode. And again, if you left Volpina out entirely, you wouldn't miss much. But again, that imagery of an illusion of an illusion of Ladybug as Anti-Bug, disintegrating Cat Noir, who's also an illusion, was pretty dark. Like, I was not expecting that imagery, but I mean, I wish they didn't spoil it was an illusion right when it happened, but yeah, it's fine. And then for part 2's a 10. It is a perfect way to end off the season and keep you intrigued and excited for the next season that's coming afterwards. So, my overall final verdict for the special as a whole, with both 2 parts together, and its entire 40-minute runtime, yeah, technically these 2-part specials count as TV movies. So, I mean, if you want, yeah. Final verdict for the 2 parts together and the special overall is a 19 out of 20. This is a fantastic ending special to cap off Season 2. And I can't recommend it highly enough. Just know that the first part has a bit of exposition and can be a bit slow. And again, Volpina didn't even need to be here. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Now let's move on to what many of you are probably wondering. My top 10 of the season. They will appear on whichever side actually has room. If there is any room left on this thing. Okay, so here's my top 10 of Miraculous Season 2. I don't know if I did a top 10 for season 1, but I'm doing one for season 2. Screw it. I'm sorry for the inconsistency. Okay. Number 10 is Frozer. Number 9 is Glaciator, however you pronounce it. Number 8 is Prime Queen. 7 is Troublemaker. 6 is Reverser. Yes, 6. Yeah, Reverser is in the top 5. I know. Sorry, you can set my reputation on fire in the comments section if you want. Just know you're getting blocked and removed if you do. If you're not respectful about it. 5 is Queen's Battle. Yes, I'm counting the specials as one whole special. Deal with it. 4 is Zombazoo. 3 is Heroes Day. 2 is Riposte. And number 1, undisputably and undeniably, is Captain Hard Rock. Like, that episode is one of the best of the whole season. And I'm going to throw this in here as well because I didn't review it and it's technically a part of season 2, but I really didn't want to review it because I heard it was garbage. The Miraculous Christmas special, which is technically the start of season 2, but I'm throwing it in here at the very end. Yeah, it's just as bad as people have said. The songs suck, the plot is a mess. It's just a terrible special. Well, it's not even a special because it's a normal 22-minute episode. It's not, it's not like a double part special like Queen's Battle, Heroes Day, and Origins. So I can't even call it a special. Point is, the episode sucks, and I might elaborate more on this in December, but we'll see. All you need to know right now is that's a 2 out of 10 episode, and that's the only bad episode of this season. And as for the season overall, it would lead to a 20-4 ratio, because I usually split classic, great, and good, and okay, bad, and trash into 2 separate categories to determine whether or not the season is good, bad, or meh. And it's very clearly a great season, but this is a step back from season 1, because season 1 was a 24-1 ratio, because the only below average episode in that whole season, well, the only episode that was outright bad in that season, while the rest was good, great, and amazing, was Volpina, because Volpina is trash. Like, I hate Volpina so much. She's a terrible character, she's a terrible villain, and her episode is terrible. That's all you need to know. So yeah, it's still overall very positive, but you can see that there is a bit of a decline from season 1 to season 2. Maybe season 3 will break that trend, but we'll have to wait to find out next year, because that is going to do it for Miraculous March 2. Thank you guys so much for watching all of these reviews. This was a lot of work, and I'm glad to be done, to be honest. And from what I know, outside of one fan-requested video that's coming tomorrow, there's no more Animation Station for the rest of March. So, yeah, that's going to make it easier on me. I'll be able to take a nice break. And as for what's coming next month, you guys are going to be excited, because it's time to take care of some more unfinished business. As you guys may or may not know, last April we had Pokemon Month, where I was going to review all the Pokemon movies in one go. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening because plans ended up shifting and things started happening in real life I don't want to talk about. So I didn't finish it, and I got no further than Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, which, in my opinion, is still amazing, no matter what you people say. So, for this month, we are going to be finishing off those films. What movies are those, you may be asking? Well, take a look at my handy-dandy binder here. Those movies are Ranger Temple of the Sea, Rise of Darkrai, Giratina and the Sky Warrior, Arceus and the Jewel of Life, Zoroark, Master of Illusions, Black Victini and the Zekrom, White Victini and the Reshiram, Genesect and the Legend Awakened, Diancie, however you pronounce that, and the Cocoon of Destruction, Hoopa and the Clash of Ages. Not looking forward to that one, I've heard that one sucks. Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel, I Choose You, Power of Us, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which I'm saying right now is hot garbage, Detective Pikachu, Secrets of the Jungle, and then that's it. And then we'll finish out by doing a ranking of all the films and a tier list, like we always do here on this channel. We'll rank all the films, I'll also rank all the games, and I'll give you my 10 favorite Pokemon to end out the month. But that's not all you're getting in April either, because as you know, the Mario movie, I said it last week, I'm going to say it again, it's right around the corner. So to celebrate, on the 4th, we're going to be taking a look at the original live-action 1993 movie. That review will also be on Cynical Sane 77. And then exclusive to here on April 5th, day one release. But it will be a late day one release because I'm actually going to hopefully go see it in an actual theater. Like, in a theater close by. Because I usually have to drive a good bit to find a theater that plays these day one releases. But exclusive to Animation Station will be my review of the Illumination Super Mario movie. And I'm mixed on it, to say the least. I'm excited, but I'm also dreading it because Chris Pratt's a terrible Mario. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm even going to say it in my review. It's the one thing that I have a huge gripe with in this movie. And then moving on from that, on the 25th, you're going to be getting my review of Justice League and Ruby, which I think is called Superheroes and Hunters Part 1, something like that. It's a two-part movie based off of comics, so yeah. And then that's it. So it's going to be a pretty short month in April. Pokemon month will last from the 1st to the 20th, as well as bonus reviews of the 2 Mario films. And then the other review I can really think of is Justice League and Ruby on the 25th. And then pretty much nothing until May. And I already told you guys, May's Power Rangers, so that's not changing. And as for the Cynical Sane 77 schedule, well, you'll have to wait because Cynical Sane 77's Action-a-thon ain't done yet because over there I still gotta review the Dirty Harry movies as well as Beverly Hills Cop 1 through 3, as well as Murder Mystery, a first reactions to the game Dredge, and the new Tetris movie that's coming out on the 31st. So, yeah. On the 31st, probably either for the Murder Mystery 2 or Tetris review, whichever one I end up doing last, I will reveal the full schedule for April. But trust me when I say, it's going to be a fun one that you're going to want to sink your fangs into. So, okay, I've rambled on long enough. This one part is almost 20 minutes long, so I'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please check out Miraculous, guys. Just because it's mostly aimed at a female demographic does not mean that guys can't enjoy it either. I've been really, really enjoying this show ever since my girl got me into it. So, yeah, I've been a huge fan of the show, and before you ask, yes, I do plan to review the movie whenever it actually comes to America. Because from what I've seen, it's coming very late this year to France, but it probably won't be until next year or maybe early 2025 that we see the English dub of the movie. When we get the English dub of the movie, I'll do a review. But until then, no. But for this year, anyway, that's going to be the end of our journey with Miraculous. So, time to fly back on to America. Well, no, now we gotta fly to Japan because, yeah, Pokemon's in Japan. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained and stupid. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jack Small, your one and only animation station, your number one stop destination. And until next Miraculous March, bug out!